What a headshot! What a head!
How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. In this video, I'll be taking you through my very own team selection for the upcoming Game Week 7. So Game Week 7, 1 week after the wildcard, not much transfer activity is going to be happening as expected 1 week after a wildcard. But the big question this week is, should we actually bench boost or not? So to go through the kind of agenda for this team selection video, I'm going to take a quick look at how Game Week 6 ended after that Everton fixture, giving you guys an update on the overall points as well as the overall rank. Then we'll be jumping into all the goodness for the upcoming Game Week 7, that big bench boost question as well as the team selection debate. So if that's something you guys are interested in, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So going over a quick recap of how Game Week 6 actually ended, as you guys can see, 58 total points and a rank rise to 6.2 million. Definitely not as high as the rank rise could have been, and you guys will see that shortly. Now overall, that Everton game was actually pretty disappointing. I had 2 assets, and you guys will see them in the overall recap. They didn't perform. But the biggest headache about Game Week 6 was my benching decision, and that's going to be Gabriel on the bench. Now, I'm going to go over this quite quickly because I just want to go to the future game week. I want to leave this in the past, but my basic logic was the fact that I expected Newcastle to score, which they did. Therefore, not doubling up on Raya plus Gabriel was fine in my opinion. But you guys know what ends up happening. Gabriel scores a last-minute corner kick. Maximum bonus points plus the DEFCON points takes him to a 13-pointer. And that's going to also include Rodon on the bench for the 7-pointer, but I was always going to bench him. So definitely would have been a pretty good week to use the bench boost. Obviously I couldn't as I wildcarded. But I'm actually fine with the decision to bench Gabriel, not fine with the outcome though, as that would have made the green arrow even sweeter. We also spoke about this, but kind of the wildcard versus triple captain Haaland debate, those Gabriel points basically offset the triple captaincy, which definitely would have been a plus for my team. But hopefully you guys included Gabriel in your starting 11 and your rank is looking a little bit better. Let me know in the comments down below, how did Game Week 6 actually end up for you? Now speaking about kind of Gabriel, you can see Raya definitely didn't score a set piece, only the 2-pointer. I just wish that I could swap Raya for Gabriel in my starting 11. Overall, as mentioned, I was expecting Newcastle to score. I was just hoping Raya got a few more saves maybe. Wasn't the case, only the 2-pointer. Then our backline, the biggest news that you guys don't know is obviously the Tarkowski 1-pointer. I went through Senesi and Van der Ven in my transfer plan, but Tarkowski, no DEFCON points here unfortunately. The 1 week that he doesn't get DEFCON in the opening 6, I have him in my team. Overall, that Everton performance wasn't too fantastic. Just makes kind of benching Gabriel even worse. Tarkowski plus Van der Ven both losing the clean sheet in pretty good fixtures. The clean sheet odds was super high for them in Game Week 6. Otherwise, Senesi had a price rise since kind of recording my videos. Just looks like a great asset, is one of the only defenders, if not the only one, to get 6 out of 6 DEFCON games. Just seems like an auto pick in my starting 11 for the future. Then the Everton disappointment continued into Dayvy. Overall had a pretty quiet game. As mentioned, Everton wasn't the best performance against that new look West Ham squad. Super weird that they ended up sacking the manager in the deadline stream for the previous game week. Otherwise, don't look too far left to Bruno Fernandes. I was actually expecting maybe they would find an extra def contribution to take him to 12. As you guys know, I think he ended up on 11. Otherwise, Semenyo, pretty happy with these Bournemouth assets. Then Reinders is only the 2-pointer. Every time I start him, he blanks. Every time I bench him, he gets points it seems. I should be happy though that he is in the starting 11 for Pep. Then the biggest kind of contributor obviously is going to be Erling Haaland for the 32-pointer. The rest of the team was pretty disappointing besides Erling Haaland, and that's why congrats if you guys did triple captain him. João Pedro with the 2-pointer, Gyökeres with the 2-pointer, both were pretty disappointing. Chelsea did have 10 men for the majority of the fixture though. So those Everton assets did put a little bit of a dampener on the end of Game Week 6, was expecting more out of them. Definitely would have made the wildcard an even bigger success, but I'm pretty happy to be back on the green arrow way of things. Let me know if you guys also wildcarded. How many points did you guys score in Game Week 6? I've seen some absolutely massive scores, especially if you guys use the triple captain. Let's see what I'm dealing with for Game Week 7. So for the upcoming Game Week 7, as you guys can see, 2 free transfers, 0.3 in the bank. A small upgrade can be made if we do want to go for it. But with my current team selection, considering the bench boost, my team can't be that bad. So at the moment, I'm looking to roll the transfer, take 3 into Game Week 8's international break. But let's see if my starting 11 actually looks pretty decent. Now the biggest question, we're going to knock it off the bat, first of all, is going to be the bench boost. So at the moment, this is my most realistic bench considering my starting 11. And you guys let me know in the comments down below, initially, do you guys think I should bench boost? For your guys' full conclusion, just wait. At the end of this video, I'll be detailing what my other options are for the bench boost, just to give you guys the complete picture. But at the moment, Dubravka, Aston Villa, not the worst fixture. They do play on Thursday. Could they be a little bit leggy against Burnley? I'm just hoping for some saves here, as I do expect Villa to score. Otherwise, Stash as well as Rodon for Leeds, they have a fixture against Spurs, as well as Van der Ven, who has the same fixture. I don't know what I'm expecting from this game, either clean sheets or a ton of goals. That's probably the only reason why I'm maybe not looking to use the bench boost, is the fixtures aren't that great. That Leeds Spurs game is a little bit unpredictable, but definitely not the worst bench boost in the world. I would say at the moment I'm probably 60-40 to not using it. You guys will see a little bit later on, I do think game week 9 might be the better week to use it, but let me know in the comments down below. Then considering the bench, the rest of the starting 11 does kind of pick itself. We've got Raya against West Ham at home. This game should be a clean sheet. As you guys would have seen in the clean sheet odds in the Ultimate Guide yesterday, Arsenal have the highest percentage. Tarkowski against Crystal Palace, a team playing also in Europe on Thursday. I was hoping that Everton bounce back after their game week 6 performance. At home, I think Tarkowski should do well here. Then Senesi against Fulham, a team I also think kind of struggling from an attacking point of view. Even if they weren't, though, Senesi just an auto pick in the starting 11, defcon in every fixture. Then finally, yes, I'm not going to be benching Gabriel, definitely not against West Ham. This is a great game. But I just want to highlight that I'm recording this before the Wednesday Champions League fixtures, so let's hope that Gabriel gets a rest. If you guys have been looking at the stats, the set pieces for West Ham have been pretty terrible, so definitely a chance that Gabriel can make it back to back. Then in our midfield department, probably vice-captain Bruno Fernandes this week. I just don't trust them enough to not miss another penalty. I don't even know if he's going to still be on penalties after those 2 misses. But at Sunderland at home, a newly promoted side, even though they have been defending pretty well and United look pretty terrible, I've got some confidence here and hopefully a Bruno Fernandes haul. Semenyo Fulham, tougher game against Anderson. Let's hope that he wipes out the clean sheet for those Anderson starters. He's in great form at the moment, as well as Bournemouth. Then with Ndai, don't really know where the expectations do lie. Crystal Palace, a team that are defending well at the moment. I just hope the Everton attack can get back to the way things were a few game weeks ago, as they were quite electric. As mentioned though, Crystal Palace are playing in the Thursday fixture for the European competition. I just think it's a matter of time before all these fixtures do catch up to them. Then finally, Rangers against Brentford. I should probably just bench him and hope that he comes off the bench, because every time I start him, as mentioned, he doesn't get the points. But Brentford's a pretty decent game, and that's why I'm captaining Erling Haaland. Now, like with Arsenal, Man City also do play tonight. I'm hoping that Erling Haaland might get a rest here, but with the form he's in, maybe Pep wants to keep it up. In terms of captaincy, no questions. In terms of the rest of my team, who's the other options? Either Bruno Fernandes or one of my other players. I just feel more confident in Erling Haaland. João Pedro coming off yet another red card in the Champions League. Just don't know why he gets so many red cards. Let's hope against Liverpool it's going to be more on the goal side than the card side. The best thing to know about the future though is that he is suspended for those next Champions League games. So pretty happy to own him. He should be getting the majority of Premier League minutes for the future game weeks, and Chelsea's fixtures do get better in the short term. Then maybe another captaincy consideration might be Gyökeres for West Ham. Arsenal do have the highest projected goals for game week 7. I'm just not confident enough to captain him though. I definitely am happy to own him. Let's just hope that he does start this one, gets the majority of minutes. Even with the new manager, I'm expecting Arsenal to score a few goals. So with those 2 free transfers, I think I'm pretty comfortable just banking one this week. The starting 11 does look pretty decent, even the bench. And that kind of leads us to the last debate, is would you guys bench boost? Now to give you guys some more context, let me show you the bench boost that I'm currently planning, and that's game week 9. And at the moment, predicting a bench of Dubravka against Wolves, Striker against West Ham at home. However, this could be Rangers against Aston Villa away. And then finally Van der Ven Everton and Tarkowski Spurs. So yes, once again, Van der Ven and Tarkowski are kind of playing each other. On the bench, we have a similar fixture, which I don't always love. But I do feel like this bench overall does look a little bit better than the Game Week 7 one. Only considerations there are going to be the fact that Game Week 7 is right in front of us. We know the rotation, we know the injuries at the moment. Game week 9 is in 3 weeks' time. We do miss that international break before game week 8, but there could always be some injuries that affect the team. So now what we have is a worse bench, but we do have the uncertainties eliminated, and I think that's what makes this debate quite close between game week 7 and game week 9. I put it over on Twitter and most people said game week 9 bench boost. Maybe the YouTube comments are going to be slightly different, so let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you haven't used the bench boost, let me know when you guys are using it. Also, let me know your transfer plans for game week 7, your captaincy considerations. If it isn't Erling Haaland, I think his effective ownership is going to be sky high once again. Now please, an important reminder, the deadline is on Friday evening. Make sure that you guys don't miss out on it. An easy way is to have notifications on, as I will be doing a deadline stream 1 hour before the deadline. So that can kind of serve as your reminder for the deadline when I do go live. Hopefully I see you guys there. This is basically our video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like if you didn't and subscribe if you have subscribed yet. As mentioned, notifications on for that deadline stream. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's me, Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.